Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So back as always to let you know what's making the rounds right now as it concerns the Super Eagles. Of course, we are still under the euphoria of that great victory yesterday against Gabon, and obviously, the likes of Benjamin Frederick has been going viral all over social media. A lot of Nigerian fans reacting to this man's performance. I mean, we saw the match, we saw everything that he did, particularly marking out the former African best player Aubameyang and frustrating him throughout that game. But again, he also did some incredible runs, creating an assist, surging forward and creating that assist for Victor Osimhen. Those are some of the things I did, but he did beyond that. But absolutely, this guy is a very, very magnificent talent. Is someone that is going to be here for a long time, and we hope that everything goes well for him. But just to give you some reaction concerning this game, I'm going to start with the Gabonese side. Of course, Aubameyang was very disappointed. He has not gone to World Cup for his country, before, and he was hoping that this was going to be the day that he takes one extra step into securing that World Cup qualification. But it ended for him, and I think this is going to be the last time that we'll ever see him, competing for this Gabon side. He's 36 years old, so age is not on his side, and you can understand the frustration from him. I think he was even emotional when he was matching out at full time, because he was pictured covering his face, and he didn't want to spend too much time on the pitch greeting anybody, so he just kind of walked into the dressing room. But he has come out to say one or two things regarding that match, and for him, he says that Nigeria had a very solid defense yesterday, which proved very effective, and they were able to stop him despite making too many runs. And then he also reacted to question asked about Victor Osimhen, and he said Victor Osimhen has great supporters, and there are other incredible attackers giving him quality passes and crosses to finish. So that's just the little words that he said. Of course, you can sense from his comment that he's not very happy. He doesn't even want to talk, to anyone. But everything that he said is true. We had a very really good defense line that paid off on the night, and particularly Benjamin Frederick, because he's the guy that Aubameyang was referring to, who marked him out. And then Aubameyang talking about Victor Osimhen having a huge fan base, a huge supporters. It's very obvious that during that match, I mean, the fans, I have to also give the fans some credit, because they were shouting at the top of their voices, Victor Osimhen, 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 Osimhen. They were just chanting. As I was watching that match, I couldn't help but hear this Osimhen chant every single time. Osimhen tries to score, or just even when he doesn't have the ball, we keep hearing this chant. It just felt like everybody in the stadium was calling Osimhen's name. So Aubameyang feels that this obviously goes a long way to help Osimhen to play better, because if you have people like that cheering you and things like that, then obviously it's going to make you to perform well. And then he says we have better attackers who are providing passes for Victor Osimhen. But there's also some reaction from his coach, his head coach, the person of Thierry Moyuma. He has now come out. Of course, if you recall, this one, said a couple of things leading up to the game, talking about how they are not scared of Nigeria, and how the best team doesn't always win. He was talking, things on that line. But I mean, after this humbling, he has come out to admit that they were not good enough against one of the best teams in Africa. That's his word. And he feels that even though their dream of going to the World Cup has now been cut short, he believes that the match is going to provide them with experience, and also some areas to improve heading into African Cup of Nations coming up in December. So that's some of the takeaways that he wants to take from a very disappointing outing yesterday. But he also admits that the scoreline didn't or doesn't exactly reflect their performance, like from the Gabonese side. He felt that they performed better than the scoreline is indicating, but he says that the issue that they had was that they couldn't really defend they couldn't defend very well throughout the match. They did well in the first half, first 30 minutes, of course, preventing Osimhen scoring like 2 or 3 goals, during that time. But again, they slacked, and then in the second half they started conceding goal, making too many mistakes. Obviously, the first goal the Super Eagles scored was a clear mistake from their defender. But this is what he said in his word. He said we are not good enough in the opponent's box and didn't defend well in our box. Something our opponents did and scored from. The game was decided by small margins, and the scoreline didn't reflect how well we competed against one of the best teams in Africa when it comes to attack. He added, "We have learned our lessons and we take them into the AFCON. It is painful that our dream of qualifying for the continental playoffs is over, but we will regroup." So that's what the man has said. Of course, it's not just from the opponent's camp. We also have reactions coming in from our camp. Chelle, Osimhen, among other players. And then for Victor Osimhen, he came out and reacted to a couple of things, including the very infamous miss that could have, won us the game even before we got into extra time. I think it was in the 90 plus minutes that he missed that one. So he came out to react to it. He said he was very disappointed, and when he missed that one and the match finished, he asked his teammates if it was going to be a penalty straight or if we had like extra time to play. And then he got to know that we have extra time, and then he went on and said sorry to his teammates, and then promised to come good, when he gets the chance again. And that's exactly the mentality that he showed. And thankfully, he saw those passes from Benjamin Frederick and the other goal. I forgot who gave him that pass, but he came good when he had chances in the extra time. And this is what he said. He said, "When I missed that kind of opportunity, I was asking my teammates if we go directly to the the penalty, or if we have extra time, and they told me there's extra time. And I told them, I'm so sorry, I'm going to correct it. I don't focus on how many goals I score. I just want to help my team. If I'm not scoring, I'm assisting." So that's basically what he said. Osimhen goes on to talk about, the NFF and the role between the Super Eagles and the Federation. And he was quick to thank the NFF's boss, the person of Alhaji Ibrahim Gusso, the way that he swiftly rushed into the situation and tried to talk to them and assure them, and also, make provision for what they had been agitating for to be provided. So he says that the NFF boss was actually the reason why the boys, came around again and decided to continue the match, because he acted immediately, and that he's glad that actually happened, and that right now, the boys found the motivation to win the match against Gabon, and he says they will continue to push. They'll go back to their hotel, try and rest, and then continue to push again on Sunday against DR Congo and see what happens, from there. And then the man also reacted to his hat trick, to his Champions League hat trick. Of course, that happened last week, and then the fact that he followed that one up with scoring 2 goals yesterday, and he's just basically responded with the same mentality, saying that scoring number of goals, those number of goals do not really define him. That all he cares is that if he cannot score, he's also very happy to make assists for his teammates, and that his teammates know him as a team player, not necessarily someone who is always okay. I want to score. He's also someone that can assist. In fact, he loves to assist very much as he loves to score as well. But he just says that he prefers to be a team player rather than being known as the one who scores the goals but is not a good team player. So I'm just going to read them in his words, as I always do. He said, I don't talk about the number of goals. And if I can't score, I try to make assists. If I can't make assists, I work for my teammates. That's how I play, and that's how people see me. So of course, it's important to me. I think my teammates also give me motivation. And then about the NFF boss stepping in, Osimhen said there are some things that have to be rectified. I have to say big kudos to the NFF president. He swiftly came into the picture and got it sorted, which is fine and good. Now we have come and won the game. Everything is resolved. We go back to our hotel and try to see if we can get it done. So basically, the reaction from Victor Osimhen, and of course, I can't end the video without giving you guys the reaction of the boss himself, Chelle. Of course, he's filled with praise for his players, for his boys, Osimhen and all the other guys. But again, Chelle feels that the Super Eagles are not up to, they didn't play 100% because he feels that obviously the goal that they conceded, the one goal that they conceded just in the 9 minutes when we could have defended well and won it by 1-0, it was a big issue, and it was a cause for him to worry about how to work on the boys and help them to be better, to improve in the defensive department and not to concede careless goals like that. So Eric Chelle feels that it was a very good match. The boys deserve the victory and all of that, but he is not happy that they conceded, and he wants to go, back to the training ground and then work on that. He clearly stated that he doesn't want the match against DR Congo on Sunday to be like this match. He says he wants a better match. He wants to see a better performance from the boys, not just in the attacking area but also in defensive area, especially about keeping clean sheets, holding your lines, and then following the instructions that he lay out for them. That's the update, guys. Leave your reaction on any of the stories. As usual, stay tuned to the channel. More updates will be coming soon.
You're flossing for training, bro. Bro, I'm slapping your boots, bro. Don't worry. Not your dry shins, bro. Your boots, bro. Camouflage. You see him? I see him. No, I don't see him. Good job, bro. That's why you're working hard, huh? Yeah, bro. I need, bro. The pool got massage.